Welcome back to SMM 2010. Myself, Tobi Kenobi, joined by Killy Milkies, here for your next DOTA game. This is the second last one for this evening. We have DK going up against Ritta. Of course, Killy, we've had a bit of a break. We're going to come back here. There's a bit of a pub stomp which happened just before us, but this game should be a lot closer.
Yeah, I heard that DK is from China and Ritta is from Indonesia, so finally we are seeing some more like international teams play. It'd be really interesting because both of them have traveled down to Malaysia, so both of them really need this, so they'll be playing their best.
Yeah, that they will, because this is approaching very, very fast. The last end of the group stages, I believe we plan to beat the round of 16 by the end of the night. So there's a lot of matches to actually play through today. Obviously, all the Malaysians have been working very, very hard as well. They've had to play through their qualifying matches to get into the groups and then play their group stage matches on top of that as well. So there's been a lot of matches really going through this at the moment. So we'll see how these guys go. We saw for the first time Invoker being played in our last game. We also saw Syllabear being played as well. I think it was like a massive, massive push. Like huge push, 22 minutes GG kind of style push.
Look at the bands on the screen right now. It's like Alchemist and Pagna and a Doom. That's pretty standard because, like you said, these three heroes are really strong in this version at the moment.
Yeah, really, the Alchemist is just one of those all-around nice guys. He'll do whatever you want him to do. Pugna, great pusher as well. Doombringer, OP. And Visage also removed. He was the bane of 2009 SMM. And for this one, he's not even going to get viewed again. Enigma actually appearing on the ban list here by DK as well. So they removed the Neutraler, they removed the Black Hole. And I don't know, like, we saw Enigma played in our last game, Kelly. And that Black Hole, it was pretty critical. It was pretty critical, but the amount of times it didn't go or it hit perfectly, everyone died. But it's a very, very, like, not really hit and miss, but it's a very, very hard thing to time. So we just go in to wait for the third ban. Now here, Ritta taking a bit of time to actually go into it. They've almost eating into their extra time, taking every single moment, enjoying every single moment here on the main stage. In fact, are going to be the first team to eat into that extra time.
I think you're probably going to see some, like, Puck soon. Puck?
I wouldn't mind Puck. Puck is good. Turtles are cool.
Well, although, like, almost every game we have an SF if there's a chance, SF is always really fun to watch because it requires, like, a lot of skill to play. Yeah,
the Razors are really, really not that easy to hit, and I think, like, HY gave us a complete tour. And yes, I'm harping on about HY playing SF. By that one Razor, he decided to clear out the cavern just up there on the top lane of the Sentinel lane. But still, Broodmother being removed now by Ritta. That's probably the big thing they're wondering about, because obviously you get yourself 3 bans to start with, and then you get to pick, then you get a couple more bans after that too. So removing the Broodmother, if she stayed in the pool for this early on pick, it could have been a lot more dangerous. Instead, remove her out. There's your SF already. So we've actually already got our 2 Agi carries here for DK and throwing in the ES. They want to take everything they want straight off the cuff. None of this fooling around with Ritta, who have their VS and Witch Doctor. And it's just like, yeah, we're showing you our support heroes. We'll wait to pick our carries. DK, they've gone the complete opposite, Kelly.
Yeah, I think they kind of like, let's pick the SF before they do. Because, like I said, SF is such a pivotal role in like mid lane. So important. Of course, I mean, their heroes are good against him, but still, a good SF player is like the most solid, be it like mid game or carry player.
Yeah, he definitely is, because we've seen him so many times. Lothar's been the item of choice for him at the moment, obviously then followed closely by BKB and Blink Dagger. And every single time you get a Lothar's on an SF, you do actually realise just how powerful he is when he comes in nice and close, lets off the ulti, and you cop the full brunt of all those souls that just explode out from the inside of him. It hurts like all hell. Necrolite coming up as Ritta's 3rd pick here at the moment, which is actually a pretty good pick to actually come up with. Keeps them alive as well. So Ritta, look to see them to actually go for a bit more of a tanky lineup with Necrolite as well as the restoration you're going to get from Witch Doctor. They've got more than what they need to keep themselves alive, and then you throw the VS stun, the bouncing stun as well, which will come off our Witch Doctor, and there's sort of a couple more to go. We are into the banding stage now, and I think DK did watch that match on the main stage. It looks like we have Batrider removed already. So just waiting for Ritta to come back with their 4th ban as well. Taking all their sweet time, that's what it's all about.
It's a serious match.
It's
I mean,
serious.
it's between, like I said, in between Indonesia and China. They both like flew into Malaysia to play SMM, which they're contesting for 50,000 RM. That's so much money.
It is a lot. It is a hell of a lot. I think it like translates into, what is it, 25, 27 US?
Yeah, probably around like 20,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the biggest DOTA tournament in the region, right? Which
It
is
is the
why
biggest
all
in
of
the
them
world, I
come.
believe.
Have you seen the Australia team play today?
Actually, no. Actually, I went to check out their boards down the back there before, and they've actually got nothing ticked up against their name yet. So either the boards are taking a little bit longer to actually update, or they're waiting a little bit longer.
Oh,
Darkseer.
Yeah, really interesting that they banned Darkseer.
Well,
Does that
Darkseer.
mean what? They're gonna pick a hero that Darkseer is like countering, like hard counter against?
Darkseer is a pusher.
Yeah.
Darkseer is a pusher through and through. Like, you just throw that iron shell, you can push out anywhere, as well as the ability to actually continue the gank through the surge, through the vacuum that can pull it back in again. And of course, she does have the ultimate, the illusion wall, to really actually help out in tight situations as well. But Darkseer was a bit of a good fad maybe about 2 months ago. Interesting to see that Ritta still believes that he's actually worth the ban for this one. And with their lineup too, Darkseer, his continuous DPS would be a frustration, I think, to them. I don't know if it's ban worthy, but maybe they just want to keep a couple of other options open. Morphling is removed here by DK, so removing out one of the other Kariachi heroes. I think the only one that is basically liked at the moment left in the pool is Dro Ranger.
Well, you know, Ritta is not like just slacking and like wasting the time, but they're actually like in serious discussion right there. It's gonna be like what? I think I really hope to see some POTM.
You really
Because
want
I
to
really love the 5-second arrows. It's like some of the arrows are so sick. I've casted a lot of games where the arrows are just so sick, like just through the fog and bam, 5-second. That's an engagement winner right there.
Yeah, the only downside at the moment though is like it's very, very hard to hit those arrows, and BKBs have been basically the item of the time. So SF always wants a BKB. They want to stop those disables. The best way, just throw in the BKB, and the second you pop that, arrow literally does the damage but has no effect. So it's not bad.
Yeah,
but
a ban on Puck there.
Pottom's lost his train. Obviously they've been listening to you. It's like, oh, let's see some Puck. They must hate you.
Crystal Maiden being picked first time we have casted for this
That is
tournament. Yeah, we're probably gonna see a Lion pick. Do you think a Lion and Tinker?
I don't know if we're to see the return of Tinker at the moment. Lion definitely. At the moment you're running your 2 carries, SF and Windrunner.
Yeah.
You've got your support heroes of CM and ES.
Yeah, like
I'd probably more like to see like a mid-game hero, like
yeah,
Alchemist.
maybe like a catcher, not more like a support hero kind of thing.
Yeah, it's got to be a mid. It's got to be a mid-game. You can't just leave yourself too thin. Some teams do like to run that way and just run your 2 carries. Alchemist, who is the first hero they banned, I think would fit perfectly into this lineup at the moment.
Catcher.
We have to wait and see. Actually, maybe even a bit of an Enchantress. Throw her in there and you just increase that DPS just a little bit more.
Mid-game hero, Potom. That's really possible. I mean, he has
yes.
stun, he has Starfall, he does have leap. Draw Ranger,
Yeah, you
your
gotta
girlfriend.
see, it's the last
She's
favorite
popular
actually.
today. You gotta watch out.
Yeah, but being one of the actually even then you can throw in a Deucer into this one with the CM lineup. I'm talking back to DK at the moment. But Dro Ranger is a great agi carry, and they're actually going to throw in Razor, which is just as good a pick at the moment. First time I'm actually going to see him up on the main stage. He has appeared in a couple of the matches.
It's interesting though, because you have like what 3 heroes that actually kind of need the money.
Yeah, but at the moment you're still looking at Razor's strength. Razor is just going to buff himself up. He's going to be pure strength, and they did need something like that to try and combat Ritta's lineup, because at the moment they still have a good bit of heal. Shadow Priest is even still in the lineup if they want to go one more, but more than likely both teams needed a mid game. They need that mid game hero for Ritta. They've got enough DPS that can come out from Necrolite and Dro Ranger, as well as the stayability, which I think is going to be the big thing. But they're still going to need like a little bit more pushing power. Like, they got enough. When Dro Ranger gets some Mantra up, she'll be okay. But to basically counter this big burst damage that DK is going to have, they need a little bit more.
Yeah, like I don't think we'll see stuff like Undying, because that's just kind of too weak at the moment for the draft. So,
Yeah, you're right. Right, Tinker comes out for the big counter push.
All right, we're gonna start the game. So on the Sentinel side, we have SF, Windrunner, Crystal Maiden, Earthshaker. Did I miss someone? Oh yeah, and the Razor.
I love it. I love it. All right,
So on the Scourge we have Tinker, Necrolite, we have the Draw Ranger, we have the Witch Doctor, we also have the Vengeful Spirit. Pick every game now, you know.
Yeah, VS is just one of those great around like support heroes. Like there was a slight change, I think, to one of her abilities.
Yeah.
But still, that swap is completely
Yeah.
you've got to have it. It's just a beautiful thing.
The way VS has been played has been changed. Like in the past, like I said, VS has just been like a maybe like a pure warding and just stun and stat 0 in the first 6 level. But now it's like it's stun and like Howl of Terror, and he also has aura. So
Yeah, that he does. We just saw the Crow having a bit of a look around there with the shield on. Looks like DK already want to get a couple of tabs there on Ritta and see what the movements are. Let's see a couple of heroes moving around just outside the Roche pit. There's a cool thing about that Flying Courier when you get it off first on. You can really like break up if there's going to be like a quad gank, if there's going to be a tri gank. You can see that coming a lot further away. So it's a good unit. Costs you a little bit to upgrade it straight to a Flying Courier straight off the cuff, but really it's well worth it in the end if you actually don't get killed. We've just hit the 0 mark, so the first rune spawns up and the creep waves will move themselves out of the bases and into the lanes, and that's when you'll actually see all the heroes actually being revealed in the lanes, or generally most of them. Sometimes they do like to hang around inside the neutrals there, Kelly.
yeah, so laning, no surprise there. We're probably going to see SF at the middle. And we do, it's SF versus Tinker at the middle. So this is kind of like a really control game. If the Tinker is kind of like stronger, his missiles are higher, he's going to make like the SF suffer in the early game. But you know, if the SF is like aggressive and he hits all his rays, the Tinker is going to suffer because the Tinker is an intel hero. He doesn't have like a high life base.
Yeah, it is slightly struggling for him, but you do know he'll be buying a bottle very fast, and we'll be running that towards the middle. Same will happen for Yurio, as playing as the Shadow Fiend there in the middle lane. He's going to really want to stay on top of that mana, stay on top of that health. He wants to harass that Tinker back, just as you see him doing now, attacking from down ground. It was lucky not to actually get a miss off the back of that one. So it's just something to keep your eyes on very closely, that Tinker SF battle, who's going to get farmed, and how long is it going to take to get those BTs. You've seen it so many times.
Fisher goes off there onto the Witch Doctor, and Witch Doctor gets a Nova by the Crystal Maiden, and you know, stun is going to go off on the Earthshaker, but they're not going to go and catch and engage because the VS and the Draw Ranger is there.
Yeah, there's enough support. It's a battle of the tri lane up there on the top lane. So it's the VS, Witch Doctor, Draw Ranger for the Scourge, and you have your CM, Razor, ES, and that's a hard lane for the Scourge to actually go up against. Ritta have got to be very careful not to get locked out by that Fisher. There's enough to keep him actually going up there for both lanes there. Look at mid lane even getting harassed back. SF and Tinker are going to go hammer and tongs. In fact, they're sitting at the same amount of consumables at the moment. Actually, the first time we see, I think it's an extra healing slab on top of SF, but he's used up all his tangos at the moment. But the healing slab is still the more powerful of that one. Windrunner going up against Necrolite in the bottom lane. Look for the last